Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Melanie Billingsley. Today, we're going to learn about some travel tricks and tips and considerations when you have tiny humans or you're booking travel for people with tiny humans. And that's kind of a general term for kids, toddlers, babies, all of that. So, we're going to go ahead and get started. So, a little bit about me. My name is Melanie Billingsley. I've been to 46 of the US states so far in 24 countries, but there's so many more places that I want to travel to. My list keeps growing. I'm triple gold Evo 200 leader. I've been with Archer for a little over 2 years now. I'm a mom, which is my favorite thing of all, and a wife to my best friend. I'm a planner. It's what I love to do. That's like my hobby. And I'm a believer in kindness. Lower this out. All right. So, whether you are here to learn some tricks to travel with your own kids or how to assist clients and help them navigate the different difficulties and all that clients face when they're traveling with little kids, because it can get really complicated and there's a lot more logistics involved. So hopefully this helps um, with that as well. But you can make travel less stressful by being prepared, thinking ahead. We're going to go over some of that stuff. All right, so with airlines, it really helps to do your research ahead of time. Don't wing it. I know that when my husband and I used to travel together before kids, we really would kind of just go with the flow and see where it took us. And it was really fun. But you can't really do that successfully with little kids because they do need some stability and structure and organization. So I always suggest planning ahead, think ahead, know where you're going, that kind of stuff. For the airport specifically, arrive early. Okay. Give yourself time for those little hiccups. Maybe a baby has a poop explosion, or your toddler has a meltdown, or you guys can't find your gate, or your kid needs to run around. Okay. Give yourself some extra time. Also, TSA PreCheck is a really awesome way to skip the lines at security, get through much quicker. So that's something to look into if you're interested in that as well. So for the airports, this is where research comes in handy. Sometimes it varies per airline, but these are pretty standard. So you can gate check a stroller and or a car seat for free. Okay. So you can bring a stroller through the airport to carry your kids and stuff. Okay. I like load ours up so it's less stuff to carry, but you can bring that through the airport, go down the hall right before you get on the plane, and then leave it there. Okay. It's free. They take good care of it. It's first, or it's the last one to get on the plane, and it's the first thing to get off the plane. So you pick it up as soon as you get out of the airplane. It's right there. So that's a really smart way to do it. Then you don't have to check it. Also, checking car seats isn't the best idea. I know a lot of people do it, but they can get kind of banged up, and a lot of times the structure of the car seat can be damaged, and it'll be like the car seat was in an accident. So I personally don't check my car seats. Leave them at the gate for free. Baby milk, okay, whether it's formula or breast milk, it does not follow airport liquid rules. Okay. So I know there's so many rules, like they have to be in a 3-ounce bottle. You can only have so much of, if you wanted to bring shampoo, things like that. Baby milk does not count. You can bring as much as you want and in as big of a bottle as you want. Babies are exempt from that rule. Also, breast pumps count as a medical necessity. So if you have a breast pump and all the stuff for your breast pump in a bag, that is not your personal carry-on. That can be in addition to your personal carry-on. It's totally free and they have to let it on. Okay. So for the airplane, under 2 years old, they can sit on your lap. They can. I've done it and it kind of worked okay. But if it's a longer flight, I actually recommend just buying them their own seat if it's in the budget. For a lot of different reasons. It's more comfortable for them. A lot of times they're able to sleep better. If you bring their car seat and strap them in like they're used to, then it's kind of like they're in the car. They're used to staying in the car and playing in their car seat or snacking in their car seat, napping. Okay. I find it easier to survive a long flight. Otherwise, I'm wrestling with a kid in my arms who's feisty and wants to play and get down and walk and things like that. So, for longer flights, I do suggest getting their own seat with their car seat. But lap infants, you know what? That isn't a really a cheaper way to fly. So if you have a kid under 2, they can sit on your lap. Um, okay, flight bassinets. For the most part, these are just for international flights. You need to call them and talk to them ahead of time because you often have to have a very specific seat, like the first row seat, and the baby has to be under a certain amount of pounds and things like that. But call them because honestly, if you're doing an international flight, having a baby sleep there is so much easier because they can lay down and it's more normal for them. You know, it's like a bed. So that's another option. So a lot of airlines do allow families to board first, but I actually recommend the opposite. Now, the exception is if you're flying Southwest or something where there's not assigned seats. If there are not assigned seats, you want to get on that plane with your kids as early as possible to make sure you guys can sit together. Okay, that's very important. But if you guys have assigned seats, you are for sure sitting with your kids. You don't have to worry about that. Get on the plane last. Because if you take your kids to the bathroom right before you get on, if you let them run around the airport before you get on, they are more likely to be chill on the flight, okay? Less chasing them around if that's the case. Just let them get their energy out as long as possible. Because honestly, the longer they're on the plane, sometimes it's a full hour sitting on the plane before takeoff, and even more time after sometimes. Limit the amount of time on the airplane, okay? Take advantage of that. I personally avoid layovers now that I have kids. Um, it's just more complicated, more stress. I also like red-eye flights. Those are flights that are direct and they're overnight because then I can get my kids to sleep on the plane, hopefully, in an ideal situation, right? They'll sleep on the plane, they'll wake up in the morning, and we'll be at the new destination. So that's personally what I like to do is book a direct red eye. But just direct flights in general when possible, just because fewer logistics and less room for problems that may occur. Um, Bottles and binkies. If you have a toddler or a baby, give them a bottle or a binky during takeoff and landing because that's going to help their ears pop and it's going to keep them from screaming in most cases. If you have bigger kids, gum is a great substitute for that. Um, so this is just my thing. Don't apologize for your baby. Okay. There's so many adults who are way worse on the flights, right? I think we've experienced that. It's a baby, okay? It's okay if your baby cries. It's okay. Don't stress yourself out. Everyone around you is going to survive the flight, including you and your child. It's okay to let babies and kids be babies and kids, okay? Don't add to your stress by worrying about the people around you. As long as you are trying to comfort and care for your child, that's what matters, okay? And I would suggest paying more to pick your seats. A lot of airlines now, like the very base, the bottom amount you can pay, you don't get to pick your seats. That is risky if you have little kids, right? You need to sit with your kids for safety reasons, for their comfort, for your comfort. You need to be with your kids. So just pay a little more to pick your seats so you know for sure you're with your kids. Okay. Little peace of mind, a little less stress. Money helps. All right. So another option, if airports just seem so stressful with little kids and the flights and keeping them calm and entertained, you can drive, okay? It's okay if it's a long distance. I've done crazy long road trips with my kids, and actually can be more fun and less stress. So some benefits of road tripping it instead, you're in control. Okay. With a flight, you have to be on that plane by a certain time or it leaves without you. You have to listen to the flight attendants. They say, sit down, you can't get up right now. Okay. They're in control, right? Um, you can take your time. Stop at all the stops. See sightsee, go see little towns and the world's biggest cotton ball or whatever the case, right? You can take your time. Whenever your kids need bathroom breaks, whenever you want to get a snack, you're welcome to stop and take your time. You can save money. Flights can get expensive. Um, for the most part, it's more comfortable, right? Airlines, their seats are so tiny, you're like squished in there. Okay. Cars are generally more comfortable than that. Your kids also are in the comfort of the familiar. They're used to your car and their car seat there and what they have, right? So that's easier. It's less stress. It really, really is less stress. And you can pack what you want. You can pack that car with all the stuff, right? When I fly, I kind of have to limit what I can bring. But when I'm driving, we can throw in strollers and pack and plays and toys and books and everything that we want, we can bring. So that's another option for traveling. All right, so for where to stay, I personally am a big fan of hotels just because everything is perfect there and they clean it. You don't have to worry about that. There's amenities. I'm a hotel person, okay? I always have been, so that's always where I end up staying. But if you do stay in a hotel, I recommend slumber pods, okay? So a lot of people don't know what this is, but it's genius. So this is it. It's like a little tent and a pack and play fits perfectly inside of it. So you zip this up and it's like pitch black for the kid. And there's a little net up here so you can put a white noise, you can put a baby shusher, you can put a camera and you can still see your kid. It's amazing, okay? So, if you're in a hotel room with a toddler and a baby, not a newborn, okay, like 6 months and up, put them in a slumber pod and they can sleep. You and your spouse or whoever can watch TV. You can keep a light on, okay? It's great. It's an amazing way to allow your kids to go to bed at a decent hour and you guys to stay up and enjoy some time to yourselves, okay? Slumber pods are great. Okay, then there are houses, cabins, condos, things like that. This is a nice option because it allows you a little more space. So your kids can have a room, put them to bed, you still have the house and your room and stuff like that to yourselves. The kitchen is a big plus. Honestly, eating out at every single meal on vacation can really get pricey. This allows you to save money, cook. Your kids can have the foods that they're really used to. A lot of kids are really picky eaters, and you know what? That's okay. But sometimes it's hard to please them at restaurants, especially if you're in a new place, a new country, things like that. So having your own kitchen is kind of a great amenity, right? Some of them might have a washer and dryer. Little kids spit up or spill food and things like that. It's hard to go a week or whatever without washing clothes. So that's another amenity. Just more space, you don't have to worry about noise and things like that. And it's usually in a great location too, right? So houses, cabins, and condos are a great option. Another one, if money is a bigger deal, you can stay with friends and family or even friends of friends, right? So that's a fun way for you guys and your kids to be around people who love them and support them and, grandparents, aunt and uncles, friends that you don't get to see very often and their kids. So that's another option as far as where to stay. All right. So getting around, you want to think these things through. So bring the correct stroller. Is the same stroller ideal for every situation? I personally don't think so. Okay. So if you're going somewhere like Disneyland, they have restrictions on how big your stroller can be. Okay. If you just have a 4 year old who might need to sit down from time to time while you're exploring a new city, bring like an umbrella stroller, something really light and easy to fold up. Okay. If you have multiple kids, you might want to get even a wagon, okay, like a Wonderfold wagon. We have one and it's incredible. You put 4 kids in there, they're super comfy, it's really light and easy to push. Love it. So, anyways, do your research, plan ahead, think of the best stroller. Um, for your kids' ages and your needs, where you're going, that kind of thing. Baby wear. If you have a kid who's like under 1 or even a little older than 1 is fine. Baby wearing is really awesome because then you don't have to worry about where am I going to leave the stroller and navigating strollers around busy streets or anything like that. You can baby wear. I baby wear all the time, my youngest, and it's great. He's close to me and he's happy and he feels safe and it's just easier, honestly, but I recommend practicing first. Okay, that sounds silly because we baby wear all the time, right? But baby wearing at the grocery store versus baby wearing all over Italy is a totally different thing. It can be kind of exhausting and hurt your back or your hips or whatever. So just practice. Start wearing your baby around the house more as you get ready to go on this trip. And baby wearing is an awesome idea. Okay. There's also backpacks if you don't want them on the front. Okay. Rental cars. You can get a ride share or a rental car that has car seats. Okay, so maybe you don't want to bring the car seats around the airport. And I get that. Especially toddler car seats, they're like really heavy. That's okay. You can rent cars or order ride shares that have car seats with the safety ratings you need. All of that makes it a little easier, right? Okay. Know where you are going and plan ahead. Okay. So when my husband and I would travel before kids, we would get lost in cities all the time and we'd have to double back and we're like, which parking garage was it? And we'd have to circle around and walk for an extra hour. That was fun. We honestly had fun with that. But oh my gosh, my children would freak out if that was the case with them. So just know where you're going, think ahead, do the research ahead of time, make a plan. Honestly, it'll help everyone be happy and have a great vacation. Okay, so entertainment. Bring more than you think you need, especially if you're going on an airplane or a train or a bus or anything like that. You need to keep those kids entertained, okay? So their favorite toy. If my child is obsessed with this little clown doll thing, and it scares people, but she loves it, so I let her bring it everywhere. Um, bring their favorite things that bring comfort to them, okay? Um, I'm not a big technology person with my kids, but if your kid likes the iPad, bring it and make sure it's charged. Make sure you have that charging cord. Mess-free art. So there's a lot of things now in the market that's like mess-free coloring and painting and things like that. It's awesome, and they're really affordable, okay? And a lot of times you can use them over and over again. They're great, okay? Stickers. I went to the Dollar Tree and got a bunch of these like puppy stickers, and my kids were entertained for at least an hour on the flight. It is awesome. Highly recommend stickers. They're great. Books. I am always trying to get my kids to read. Um, so as long as you have some favorite books, some things that they're really excited to read, maybe go to the library before and let them pick out some new books. Just don't lose them. Exciting snacks. Okay, so we're pretty, we're a pretty healthy family. Um, but when we're on vacation, I let them have those extra snacks, extra cookies, whatever the case. Bring things that they're going to be excited about. Okay, my kids love pouches too. Brought extra pouches, things that they can snack on that they are going to be excited about. A lollipop, maybe, right? Games. They sell travel versions of games like little Connect Fours and things like that that you actually can do um, on an airplane at the airport. Things like that. That's not going to take up a ton of room. Doesn't have endless pieces that are going to go everywhere. Okay. Or card games, things like that. Just think ahead. Bring more entertainment than you think you need. Okay. Safety. I'm so big on safety. I'm always a little bit overprotective of my kids, but if you have an older kid, use technology. Okay. If they have a phone, put it like track their phone. Make sure you have it set up so that you can see their location. Sometimes kids will, get to go wander around a museum by themselves. Whatever the case, just know where they are. Okay. Make sure that they know how to find you, things like that. Air tags. Okay, we have a good handful of air tags, and they're awesome. So basically, I was gonna have it and I forgot, but we have these little pins and fun characters on it. So like my son's is Mickey Mouse, my daughter has Minnie Mouse, and there's I think Monsters Inc. and stuff. So I can pin it to their clothes or their back, and I can see their location. We also put one on the stroller, especially if we're gonna be leaving the stroller anywhere, in the backpack that has all of our stuff or the diaper bag or whatever we're carrying around. There's usually one in my car, things like that. Air tags are awesome because you can grab your phone and look up the location of something really quick, okay? Um, I also have bracelets. They look like this, those like, silicone bracelets, but it has uh, my kid's name and it says mom and it has my phone number. It says dad and it has my husband's phone number. So if they get lost, okay, even the little ones who can't talk yet, someone could easily call us or text us, okay? Because our phone numbers are right there on the kid and they love wearing them too. I always love brightly colored clothing. Um, or even matching clothing when we're in somewhere um, really populated. Okay. If we're exploring a city, if we're at Disneyland, things like that, really bright colors. So I can see them easily. I don't have to search really hard for my kid. They kind of stand out. Okay. That's my goal. That's what I go for. If you are splitting up from your kids, okay, if you have teenagers or whatever, have scheduled check ins. Okay. Say, I want you to meet me right here at this table at 1 p.m. Okay. Make sure they have a clock or all that. Scheduled check-ins are key. So you know that they're not just disappeared. Okay. Pre-established rules, make sure they know where they can and can't go. If they're little kids, you have to stay where mommy or daddy can see you, things like that. And pay attention to your surroundings. Okay. Teaching your kids to be aware of their surroundings is important, but you need to be their eyes. Okay. Pay attention. If there's a suspicious person, hold on to your kid. Okay. Don't take chances. Pay attention. All right. So, some tips and tricks. I always overpack for the carry-on, okay, for the kids. Any essential things. So any medications, um, diapers, wipes, formula and baby bottles, changes of clothes, that sort of thing. Overpack for them because if your bag gets lost or you end up um you miss your next flight and you have a super long layover now, you don't want to be without those things, okay? And the kids are, in my opinion, the most important. If I'm uncomfortable, if my husband's uncomfortable, we're gonna be okay. But if the toddler's uncomfortable, no one's gonna be okay. So overpack for them, make sure you have what they need. It's really expensive to have to buy a diaper at the airport. So make sure you have what you need. This is something I've done and it's worked like a charm. Teach the red light, green light game before you travel. Just practice at home a few weeks before. So basically, my daughter's running ahead and I say red light and she freezes because she thinks we're playing a game and then I can catch up to her. And I say green light and she goes again. Okay. It's a really easy way to keep your kids close and listening and they think they're having fun, right? Okay. Let them run and wiggle as needed. Kids are not built to sit still. It's really hard for them to sit still. So let them be kids. Okay. It's okay if they need to stand while they eat. Okay. Or they want to run up and down the hall really quick. It's okay. Just let them be kids. Okay. Try to stick with their schedule as much as possible. For little kids, preschool, toddler, babies, they're very much on schedules, right? Their naps and their bedtime, when they eat, those things are important to them. And especially if you're switching time zones and things like that, you need to kind of try your absolute hardest to keep their schedule as consistent as possible. All right. So this is another little thing. If you're potty training a kid, it's hard. Okay. I'm in the middle of it. It is hard. So take advantage of family restrooms. Even if you don't have a potty training kid, it's fabulous. Okay. So we can go in there, I'll change one diaper and my husband changes another, and we're all able to just help each other and get everyone in and out. And family restrooms, you can find them pretty much anywhere. Use them. All right. Doggy pee pads. If you're going in the car or anywhere, honestly, um, put a doggy pee pad under your kid. So in their car seat, lay it down and then put them in it. Okay. If they have an accident, that's going to soak up most of it, if not all of it. It's just really easy. Okay. The toddler potties, like the little ones you can take with you places, put a diaper in it, like even just a newborn diaper. Okay. Something little, and put it in the car. Okay. Then you don't have to search for a bathroom. They're not gonna be able to hold it. It's fine. Just pull over or even just someone crawl in the back seat and help them. Okay? Really easy. Everywhere you go, you kind of need to pay attention to where the bathrooms are. Even in your hometown, right? You go to the grocery store, you need to know where the bathroom is. And have them wear clothes that are easy to manipulate. So I'll put my daughter in a dress and just her undies. So it's really easy. Okay. So you just kind of have to think ahead if you have a toddler who um, is newer to using the potty. All right. So you can rent so much stuff. There's a lot of different sites. I use BabyQuip, but uh you can rent everything you need for a baby, okay? Because babies and toddlers, they need so much stuff, right? Okay, so you don't have to go without and you don't have to bring your entire house with you. You can rent car seats, strollers, cribs, both full size and smaller, pack and place, things like that. White noise and blackout drapes and things like that. Wagons, high chairs, baby monitors, baby play mats and swings, a rocking chair, boppy pillows, activity centers, baby jumpers, toys and books and bath toys, baby tubs, booster seats, beach gear, outdoor gear, necessities. You can get all these things when you get there. So you go on one of the sites and you book what you want, and they drop it off to you, whether you're at a hotel or a rental house or whatever. They'll drop it off to you. You use it, it's all clean and amazing, and then they pick it up at the end of your trip. It is that easy. It's awesome. Um, so we get the baby stuff and the toddler stuff, but we'll get the beach gear too. So you can get like beach chairs, towels, ice chest, umbrellas, boogie boards, all the stuff. Okay. You don't have to overpack. You can rent things and it's really awesome. Okay. So I try to involve the kids in the planning because that honestly makes things go smoother. So, what are their interests? Okay. Are they going to be bored out of their minds at a or in at a museum? Are they interested in sports? Think about what interests them when you're planning your trips. If they're involved, there's going to be fewer surprises or unpredictability for them. Kids thrive off stability and schedules and routines, right? So sometimes traveling is hard on them. Just eliminating some of that unpredictability can make a big difference. But having kids put their input in is so much fun because they really do have great ideas and really unique perspectives that you might not think about. So, I mean, it's fun for everyone. It can make the trip so much greater. All right, so have fun and build memories. I am going to turn off the recording and then we can have Q&A.